Ned, avenge us. I'm on my way for Tuesday's stream that is sure to rock your brain. Let's get it. Woo! I know what you're thinking. Isn't it crazy to take that suit to the tower? Like, wouldn't you be better just like in a car or something? Like, isn't that dangerous? And isn't it hard to do a show with the camera broadcasting from your helmet? Look, maybe you're not wrong, but also shut your mouth. It's really windy today. It's like, shit, fucking birds. Okay, okay, we're good. What's up? Welcome to the stream. It's gonna be a good one. It's a light news day. So we'll save time for lots of questions and answers. Q and A. And who knows, maybe some crazy story will drop as we're streaming. Wouldn't that be nice? Either way, I'm pulling into the tower. I'll see you in a second. Man. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good day. What is up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to your Tuesday stream. On a Tuesday. We're going to talk about a couple of bits, couple of news bits, couple of things. But yeah, honestly, pretty light on news today. So we'll probably just get into Q&A, talk about what you guys want to talk about. Some people probably want to yell at me. Some people probably want to ask me weird questions. Some of you guys want to see full design of t-shirt, front and back, stand up now. You know, we'll do some of the stuff that you guys want to do. I guess. But I did want to say we will be doing, of course, our watch party for Moon Knight episode 4 coming out tomorrow. Come on by the tower, 2:30 Eastern Standard Time in the morning. And we finally have procured some freaking Moon Knight merchandise. Check it out. Yeah. So we got a couple shirts. We're going to be giving those away tonight at the watch party. So if you've got some nerd coin, you can enter that way to win a couple of these t-shirts. And to be honest with you guys, like I'm trying to get other stuff like Funkos, other toys or something, like more Moon Knight stuff. I pre-ordered the Mr. Knight and the Moon Knight pops. Bro, they're not even supposed to get here until like November. Like, what is happening? Like, I feel like we were able to get a lot of stuff for like Boba Fett. Maybe that's just because like the bounty hunters and Star Wars stuff is kind of like always out there, and so you can get it or whatnot. But I have had such a difficult time finding like Moon Knight merch, Moon Knight cool stuff. Like, it's weird. But I did get some ordered, and I don't know if I want to do a giveaway for them kind of like now and do like the empty box thing that the Star Wars did back in the day and just ship it out to you when it comes in, or should we wait and just do that later? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Either way, we'll be giving away those 2 t-shirts tonight. I'll have more stuff next week and the following week for giveaways via Moon Knight as well. So look out for that. And also tomorrow night, no stream in the morning, but at 7 p.m. at night, we will be watching X-Men First Class. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh, are we actually going to do it this time? Pretty sure we will be watching X-Men First Class together tomorrow night. I'm pretty excited. So make sure you're there. Okay, so let's get into this news, man. Let's talk a little bit about what is going on. And honestly, like I said, man, it is light. I I couldn't think of like even what to necessarily cover today, and I almost did a thumbnail that was just like one of those fat photos of me, you know, the people that do like the fat versions, and just have my fat face on the thumbnail with the words "no news." Like, that's how bad it is. And I thought I wanted to do it almost as a thought experiment. Like, I wonder if I just put my fat face on a thumbnail and say "no news" on it, and the title is just "no news." I wonder how many people would show up. Sometimes I wonder about these things, man. You know? What do you think? Put a 1 into the chat if you still would have showed up for the stream today. If it just would have been my fat face and no news. Put a 1 into the chat. I just want to know if you would. Oh, 69. Oh, damn. Oh, hot damn. Interesting. I think a couple of you would have showed up. I think some of y'all are lying, though. I think some of y'all just be lying, saying like, oh, yeah, totally, I would show up. And then you take one look at my fat face, and you're like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. You know? Either way. How about the Andor exclusive? Did she drop it? Did she drop it? Let me know. Nice, Renee. Never let go. Work is mad boring. Yeah, I understand. Not lying if there's buttholes blown. This is true. This is true. Oh, she did drop it. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, well, can we talk about just one thing before we talk about her Andor scoop? And I'm all about it. We can definitely talk about it. I'm all about it. So apparently, and like, I don't know. Things happen and stuff, right? But apparently, let's see if I can find it. Some people got all upset about the stream that Theory and I did. Where's the fucking... Hang on, let me find this shit. About Revba. You know what I mean? There were people getting upset. And to be completely honest with you guys, I didn't even know what he titled the stream. And I was like, oh, interesting. To be honest with you, I was like texting him and I was like trolling and being like, Rev is the main character. Rev is going to be the best. Like, it's all about Rev now. Like, Rev. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he believed me. Maybe we should have clarified before we went live. But regardless, the real villain here, and the person whose fault this is Star Wars Meg. Why can't I find it? Why can't I find the tweet? Dang, that's a lot of fucking stuff to go through. My God. Okay, so yes, this is all Star Wars Meg's fault. And I want to try to explain. Okay. Here we go. I got it now. Okay. Hey, what's up, Meg? Hey. Oh, hey, Meg. Oh, hey, Meg. Oh, hi there, Meg. Meg, I got the receipts. Meg. And now I shall show everyone that it was not Theory and I that set the Star Wars fandom on fire. No. It was you. It was you, Meg. Okay, so let's look at this. So I said, Star Wars Meg told me Reva is such a big deal. Disney is changing Disney Plus's name to Reva Plus. Okay? And everybody, and Meg tweeted lies and deception, right? It's like, okay, yeah. All right, Meg. The receipts, ladies and gentlemen, from our actual DMs. What say you now, Meg? Don't you understand that you did all of this? So I just want everybody to know that at the next Nerd Theory, if the chat is getting super toxic and like people are all crazy and it's all like bizarre, whatever, just remember whose fault it really is. You know what I mean? Like, let's not get it twisted. It's all on Meg. So anyway, let's talk about Meg's scoop, man. Let's see. I tried to get it out of her yesterday, and she was like, Fort Knox, bro. You know, she wanted to tell me all about Reva, but not about her skip. Her skip. Exclusive character leak. Interesting. All right, should we react to it? Dude, that's not Photoshop, by the way. That is actually it's funny because she was clearly joking, but she technically did say it, you know. So, all right, let's react. Let's react to the Meg DeLoreans. Exclusive. Boom. Here we go.
Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. Today is a very special day, my dear friends, because I've got an exclusive. Exclusive. Now this is something that one of my sources shared with me a long time ago, but it's only over this past weekend that they confirmed they're sure of it. Now, I also want to say that Bespin Bulletin reached out to me after I teased the scoop with Jason Ward over at Making Star Wars, and the scoop aligns with stuff they've heard for the show too, and incidentally, Bespin Bulletin are going to publish an article later in the week elaborating on such things. So you're probably wondering, what is the scoop?
What is the scoop?
That Mas Amedda, the nominal leader of the Coruscant Provisional Government under Palpatine, is going to appear in Star Wars Andor.
Cool.
No further details are known regarding which actor is going to play him or even how many episodes he's going to be in. It's also worth noting that my source is pretty sure that it's not going to be in flashbacks, but rather in the present day, 5 BBY. Now, while this scoop might not sound too major for some people, it's quite revealing for other things that we might see in the show.
True.
After all, we've heard for many months now that Coruscant is going to play a big part in Andor, and this leak goes hand in hand with that. Mas Amedda was a very important character at this point in the timeline in the galactic capital. Apart from being a scumbag politician, as well as Palpatine's yes man, he also played a vital role
Hang
in
on. Meg. A scumbag politician? I mean, maybe he's just misunderstood. You know, maybe he's out here just making the hard calls, Meg, you know? Injecting a little of, your politics into this, Meg, maybe?
Coruscant. Now, the inevitable question that comes with a rumor like this is, are we going to see Palpatine himself? Honestly, I have no idea, and I don't want to give anyone false hope. Having said that, if Sheev was going to appear in the series, this is certainly a promising sign. Although from what I've heard and gathered, there were no intentions to bring him into the show. Even if Ian McDiarmid were to make an appearance, I imagine it's something that Lucasfilm would keep heavily under wraps. Now, Mas Amedda has appeared across various Star Wars media after his first appearance in 1999's The Phantom Menace. He went on to feature in the other two prequels, various episodes of the Clone Wars, as well as showing up in novels and comics. He witnessed the ascension of Palpatine as Emperor of the Galaxy and retained his power in the Empire, serving as the Grand Vizier in the Imperial Ruling Council. And then by the time of Return of the Jedi, after the Emperor is killed, Mas Amedda was forced to serve as a figurehead for Fleet Admiral Gallius Rax, the self-styled counselor to the Empire. And we know a lot about this from the Aftermath trilogy. Now, as I've mentioned in the past, I have heard a couple of other character rumors for Andor, but for those, my source is still unsure if they were for Kenobi or Andor, because a lot of the early leaks for those series were conflated and confused for one another. But a return to Coruscant in the Andor series and seeing one familiar face is a very exciting indication that the show is going to work to expand the current Star Wars lore and canon in a meaningful way. Now, naturally, we were always going to see important political figures like this in a series that focuses on the rebellion's struggle with the Empire, and Mas Amedda's appearance in the Andor show is a long time in the making. He actually appears in a lot of the Rogue One prequel material, such as the novel Catalyst. He had numerous interactions with many important Imperial figures.
Yeah, I actually liked him in Catalyst a lot.
And oversaw many of the Empire's operations. So that's the scoop, guys, and if I hear any more
super cool! Congrats on that exclusive, Meg. That's pretty cool. I'll probably either do a vid on it today, or maybe I'll wait for the Bespin article and do a vid on it when he clarifies or whatever. But obviously, shout you out and all that. Cool. So before we get into the oh god, why? Before we get into the Liam Neeson of it all, let's talk about that scoop a little bit. Masamita, pretty cool. I think it clearly does open the door for Palpatine and some political stuff like that. I think Ian McDiarmid, by the way, is always down to return as Palpatine. And especially like after episode 9, like the thing that's kind of interesting about episode 9 is that it's so bottom in a lot of ways for all kinds of different things of Star Wars. You can almost, it's like almost like no matter where you go from there, it's going to go up. You know what I mean? So it's like, people say like, oh man, resurrecting Ben Solo, like that would be whack, or like, oh shit, like doing some more Rey stuff would be whack, or, more Palpatine after this would be whack. It's like literally anything would be better than what they did in episode 9 in a lot of ways. So I think that would be cool. Andor, from what I have heard and sort of just the feelings that I get about it, Andor is going to be a massive show for Star Wars. And it's one of the only Star Wars shows, well, I shouldn't say it's one of the only Star Wars shows to get all of these different seasons, but I believe it is one of the Star Wars shows that was designed, or at least very early on, they were like, yeah, we could do multiple shows. And it feels like the perfect kind of show to bridge all the different eras of Star Wars and connect a lot of these different characters together, which is really, really cool. The political side of the government at that time, I think a pretty big deal. And so to have Masamita in there, I think is pretty exciting, pretty cool. Maybe to be expected, you could argue, but nonetheless cool. And so good scoop, Meg. Maybe it makes up for you causing the entire Star Wars fandom to melt down about Reva. Thanks a lot, Meg. Okay, here we go. Star Wars Newsnet. Liam Neeson. So I'm just going to kind of skip down here. While promoting his new movie Memory, Neeson spoke with Comic Book Dad Cam, who opted to not ask the actor about any potential role in the upcoming Kenobi series, instead asking Neeson if he would ever consider coming back to Star Wars if given the chance. He said, "Oh, I think so. Yeah. I think so. If it was a film. Yeah. I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to TV, I must admit. I just like the big screen, you know." After a pause, Neeson continued, reminiscing about the Phantom Menace. And I'll just read this regular. Qui-Gon, I can't believe it's 24 years since we made the Phantom Menace. I just cannot believe where the time has gone. It was a terrific experience shooting that film in London. Okay. So he makes these comments. I do just kind of want to read on here for a second. Fans of long-term comparing Neeson to Obi-Wan. While not a point-blank denial, since he was never specifically asked, this does, on some level, throw into doubt his involvement with the show. Obviously, he's not at liberty to say whether he is or isn't in the show, so make of his words what you will. Neeson has previously claimed he was never approached about returning to the series. That's one of their classic denial tactics, right? We watch almost all of them say that, like, I never got the call, or, they never reached out, or something like that, right? I wonder why that's always sort of the go-to kind of lie. So the only thing that's kind of weird about this stance that Liam Neeson has is that it's going to make it really weird when he's in the Kenobi show. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to kind of be weird that he says this kind of stuff. And then we're all like, but what about, like, you in the Kenobi show? What do you mean? I don't know. So in some ways, you can think of this as, like, just a really good denial, you know? Because it's not just him, like, being asked, like, are you in Kenobi? And him saying that. It's almost like him preemptively denying that he'll be in the show. And while we don't know 100%... if he'll be in the show, I feel pretty strongly that he will be. You know, I'd be willing to bet that you'll see him in the show. Let us not forget that for years, Ewan McGregor knew something was in development for him to return as Kenobi, and he denied for years. And yeah, so I don't know. It's weird. It's just another one of those sort of denial situations there. But the evidence, I mean, it's pretty good. You know, it's pretty good that it'll be in the show. Of course, you never know. It could be cut out, et cetera, et cetera. By the way, totally random sort of point here. I saw My Time to Shine Hello tweeting about yesterday how it's really difficult to get good Star Wars sources. And I think she was like fishing for Star Wars sources, which is kind of interesting. I don't know. I find that to be kind of odd, and perhaps her saying something to throw us off the scent, because I don't know. I just kind of find it weird that she would have such good Marvel sources and not have access to anybody within Star Wars. I mean, I don't know. That seems a little sus to me, especially because she is Amy Pascal. And I bet Amy Pascal could get some Star Wars sources. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So let's talk about Moon Knight a little bit. By the way, yesterday we finally got one of our Moon Knight videos to pop. You know, this is more of like a sort of, you know, maybe businessy, YouTube-y kind of discussion or whatnot. But we could not get a Moon Knight video to do really, really well or to like pop for us, right? And we finally got one to pop for us, except that we had to hide that it was a Moon Knight video. We basically didn't. We presented it as like something completely different. And even though it's technically a Moon Knight video, it's not really a Moon Knight video. It's it's talking about the MCU Kang, how Moon Knight, the Annulled, and all these different things could factor in to the future of the MCU. It's a fun video. I thought it was pretty cool. Oh yeah. I got the supers window up. Thank you, brother. So, Moon Knight Episode 4. Let me ask you guys, where is your hype level out of 10 with regards to Moon Knight Episode 4? Where's your hype level? Can we just talk about Kang in one stream? Oh, for sure. Still out of 10. Wow. Pretty hyped, huh? Nice. Santa says 3.5. Interesting. So there's still a fair bit of people that are pretty hyped up for it. So I don't know. I'm excited for the episode, and this is apparently the episode that's going to have a big twist in it, right? This is an episode that's going to have something really crazy happen, and even though I'm not going to directly say what it is, I think by now most people probably have some idea of what it is. They even teased it in the trailers and stuff. And so with Moon Knight, if I'm being completely honest, I definitely am excited to check it out for the show's sake and just kind of like loving the character and seeing where we go from here. But I don't know that I've ever before wanted to just see the rest of a show in general, because I want to make sense of it all. And I'm also wondering, is episode 6 just chock full of crazy MCU connective tissue, or is the show just in general not really interested in doing that and not really doing that? And will there be post-credit scenes that tie into different things? Like, for instance, Werewolf by Night. Werewolf by Night has sort of been teased and hinted at as far as being in the show in many different ways. And they're definitely shooting a Werewolf by Night. I believe it's like a holiday movie, like a Halloween special kind of thing, right? I think Michael Giacchino's directing on. There's been some reports about how it's going to use practical effects that are touched up in the digital sense, right? There are rumors that Hulk would show up in the show, or at least Bruce Banner would show up in the show. There were rumors of Punisher showing up. There's some ideas of Blade showing up. I don't really think that's substantiated anywhere, but it kind of feels like it would be a good fit, right? But kind of knowing what we know about episode 4 and what we know about episode 5, because episode 5 came out, leaked out a little bit, right? I guess like my head and my questions are all like, well, what the hell, man? Like, what's going to happen? Like, where are we going with this? Like, what's the deal with all of that? You know what I mean? So even though I'm excited for this episode of Moon Knight, mostly because I'm like, I want to know, like, what does it actually, like, look like? How does it actually play out in the story? Because I think it's, like, sort of two things that are going to happen in the show, right? It's going to start out a certain way, and then at some point it's going to really introduce this pretty crazy twist, which will have resolved a little bit in episode 5. And so it's like, as much as I'm excited and interested in the narrative, I'm kind of like, I just need to know where, like, the hell this is going, and if there's any connection to the wider MCU. I don't know if anybody's feeling that, but that's kind of like where I'm at with the show. This has definitely been one of the weirdest Marvel shows that I've ever covered, because it's like, it's sort of weird to absolutely love each particular episode. Although, if I'm being honest, like 3 was my least favorite, right? 3 was my least favorite. I've heard this episode is crazy, so 4 will likely be fire. And also, too, I was led astray a little bit, because somebody had told me episode 3 was one of the best episodes of MCU television they have ever seen. And I was like, bro, that shit ain't it. Like, no offense. Like, episode 3, that ain't it. You know? It's cool, but that's definitely not the best episode of MCU television. Like, not even close. So, I don't know, man. I've never been so, like, pumped about a show while I'm watching it, and yet so not super interested and or not really thinking a lot about the show when I'm not watching it. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. I've seen some commentary about this, because it almost feels like every week we sort of have to talk about not just the show, but like how it's performing and how it's doing. I think it may have been a mistake to put this in between two massive multiversal cameo celebrated movies, because all I can think about is Multiverse of Madness. By the way, have another big Multiverse of Madness video coming out for you guys today, which goes over all the latest bits on all the crazy cameos, right? I think you'll really enjoy that. But it's almost like all I can think about is Multiverse of Madness. And when it comes to Moon Knight, the only thing that really is like of that level of intrigue and interest is sort of like, is all this real? Is any of this real? Like, where are we going? And how does Mark Spector and Steven and maybe Jake or whatever, like, how does all that work in the last episode? Where does it go? You know what I mean? Like, where does it go from there? It's a really interesting, sort of situation, man. I definitely don't hate the show, and I don't want you to think that I'm hating on the show, because I think it's a brilliant show. It's really brilliant. It's really well done, but it's literally just that I don't think about the show much when I'm not watching it. There's no like, oh shit, like when WandaVision was out, I was constantly thinking of different ways that it could go, theories, what it meant, all this different stuff. Even with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, even though like I was disappointed with the show, there was levels of intrigue to it, and it's like, oh shit, like what's gonna happen? Even Hawkeye had more intrigue, I think, like just on a episode by episode basis, and a lot of that was fueled by Kingpin, and like, oh shit, like Kingpin's gonna be involved, like what's that gonna look like, right? Loki definitely had Loki's just the best that the MCU shows have been so far, and it's just like incredible. I want to rewatch Loki, you know what I mean? Like after Moon Knight, I feel like I want to rewatch Loki. But yeah, like with Moon Knight specifically, like all of the stuff about the gods and the Pantheon and the possibility of Kang being involved in that Easter egg, etc., all of that stuff is wildly more interesting than what's going on with Steven and Khonshu. Do you know what I mean? And on top of that, when it comes to episode 4, like here's the deal. This is what's kind of weird about it. He doesn't even have the power of Khonshu anymore. So unless something changes in this episode, we're going to watch an episode that's literally just a dude with DID trying to stop some crazy cult leader with, that's using magic and shit. Right? So the whole Marvel experiment with Disney Plus has been really interesting to watch, and I think that it will evolve over time. Like much like the MCU movies, there'll be evolutions, there'll be a lot of things that they change and think about. But I can't help but have this feeling that the shows are really feeling like sort of a side dish that really do pale in comparison to their movies. And maybe that's intentional. It's almost like the exact opposite of what happens in Star Wars, right? So, I don't know. I'm pumped. I'm excited to check out the episode. And, like I still think Marvel fans are obviously eating really well. And it's not as big of a deal because we have so much good content coming out. But, let me ask you guys. What's the next Marvel Disney Plus show that you are really, really looking forward to that you think is going to be like a banger week to week and that's really, really going to intrigue you? Like, what do you think? What's the next one? Armor Wars? Loki Season 2? She-Hulk? So I would say Miss Marvel? Interesting. Okay. Secret Invasion? Armor Wars or Secret Invasion? Kenobi. Good choice. Daredevil? Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so let's talk about all this, right? The real answer is Loki Season 2. Like, the real ass answer is Loki Season 2. With Secret Invasion, I used to be of the mind that it was going to be just fucking crazy, mind-blowing shit, and like, oh my god, like we're into the actual Skrull invasion, and oh dude, like this is gonna be crazy, like who's this, that villain, second and the third. And in some more recent rumors / leaks, discourse about it, people are really saying it's a small show, dude. It's a small scale show that's gonna deal mostly with that select group of characters that's looking over sword / shield, and that it's essentially going to kind of be a stepping stone into other bigger things, the Marvels and stuff after that, right? Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but my personal expectations when I look at what the MCU has done so far, and when I hear stuff like that, I pull my expectations back a good bit. You know what I mean? When it comes to Armor Wars, I have all this, like, I guess the fanboy dream is like, oh snap, like dude, we're doing crazy stuff, like Stark and War Machine battling for proprietary rights or whatever. What's the government doing with Stark stuff? Oh man, this is so crazy. Like, are you bringing in Justin Hammer again? Like, are you like, what's going on with Armor Wars, right? But it could be the case that Armor Wars is a pretty scaled back, smaller show as well. Maybe. I'd love to be wrong, man. I'd love to be wrong and have one of these shows be like crazy and be an absolute banger. But I think the real answer is Loki Season 2. Like, they sort of struck gold with Loki. And I think that makes Feige pretty comfortable in sort of putting a ton of significance and also money in to Loki Season 2. Like, I think Loki Season 2 is going to be mind-blowing. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It's like, look, for sure, for real, I am totally pumped for many, many different Marvel things coming up. Like, I'm excited for the holiday special thing that James Gunn is doing. It's apparently absolutely wild. Kevin Bacon's apparently in it. That's crazy. You know what I mean? It seems like it's going to be really, really fun. The Werewolf by Night thing in October. Dude, I'm here for it. I think it's awesome. She-Hulk, I'm excited. I'm not expecting it to be like mind-blowing, but I think She-Hulk's gonna be super fun, super entertaining show. I'm not really that excited about Miss Marvel. Maybe something will come out that'll change my mind about that. Secret Invasion, I'm excited to check out, but I don't expect it to be the Secret Invasion comic book, right? Like that book is crazy. So I'm just, it's very interesting to be actually going through this as a Marvel fan, as a Star Wars fan. Star Wars obviously doing a lot of very high level stuff with their Disney Plus stuff, and they have backed away from the movies. Marvel movies continue to, I think, be super impressive, really just grand in scope, and be the driving force of that universe. And the Disney Plus shows are really starting to feel and be treated like sort of an ancillary sort of side dish, which is maybe like perfectly fine. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe that's perfectly okay. I just think it does sort of change the way I look at the shows and get excited for the shows. You know what I mean? And the shows. But anyway, I tell you, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Let's get into Q&A, huh? Let's Q&A it up. Let's Q&A it up. See what you guys got to say about things. What do you guys got to say? What do you guys to say about it? We'll go over the Soupy Chats. If you want to throw something in there, I'll read over every Super Chat within reason. Then we'll hang out in the chat for a little bit, and then we'll get on out of here. Like I said, we're giving away Moon Knight t-shirts tonight for the watch party. Because as I said, Moon Knight's straight fire, and everybody that says it's not good because of lack of MCU connective tissue is stupid. Don't listen to those people. And also, yeah, it's going to be a fire time. It's going to be a fire time. Okay. Let's get into DOS Q&A, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what you guys got to say, okay? Let's see what you guys have to say. Dr. Glorfindel, a member for 6 months, says, thoughts on the implications of the WB/Discovery merger for Snyderverse specifically, as well as the DC Universe/multiverse as a whole. You know, this one's tricky. I think the jury's out, bro. Like, I think the jury is still out. There's really no way to know for sure what they're going to do. What's the plan? I'm still in the camp that a reboot is the best solution for that. Perhaps they feel the same way, but it's also possible that this whole multiversal thing that they've been building towards, maybe that is fine. Maybe that will actually work, and it just needs catered and crafted with the right considerations. And in that sense, perhaps Snyderverse is safe to be sort of put off to the side. Let me just tell you that, and this is based on some fact and also just speculation. I actually think that restoring the Snyderverse has never been further away from the plans over there. Like, maybe they will keep it restored in its own sort of pocket universe to be kept for later, right? It kind of seems like the Ben Affleck tease at the end of the Flash movie might be to set that up or whatever. But as far as like just speaking strictly as will they just bring all that back and just restore all Snyder stuff or bring Snyder back, I actually think we're probably further away from that reality than ever before. And I know people don't want to hear that, and I know people get all upset about it. And that's also just one man's opinion. I don't necessarily have any information that you guys don't. I just have thought a lot about it. SMB 963 says, love that you always remember my name. I really wish I could meet you one day. Odds of Beta Ray in Thor 4. Happy early blinker day, by the way. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Tomorrow is 420. So some of you guys celebrate that. Some of you guys are like, it's just Wednesday to me, bro. Either way, blink them if you got them. And yeah, I hope you have a good day. And yeah, maybe someday we shall meet up. Odds of Beta Ray Bill in Thor 4. I haven't heard anything substantial about this, but I'd love for Beta Ray Bill to be in there. I'd give it 40%. I'd give it 40%. Inked Vader 81 says no gore in trailer, probably because they know that look is a big L. Also, how are they going to say you can't have Bale and hide his face? Cough, Batman. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's just kind of crazy. But who knows why they don't have gore? They could be tweaking it, right? They could be tweaking that design. I know the reshoots, the most recent reshoots, did involve gore. So it's possible they're doing some work like that. But also, like, with fixing his look, I don't think you would need to necessarily do reshoots. I think you could just rework it from some kind of CG perspective. But no gore in the trailer. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Also, Tyler SRT, welcome back to the Nerd Vengers. Appreciate you. Do you guys think? I'm going to check at the chat for sure. What do you guys think? Do you think gore was not in there because of the CG? If you believe that, just put yes into the chat. That he's not in there because they're fixing it. Like, what do you think? Yeah, like, I think it's just a teaser trailer. Renee says yes? Interesting. Yeah, I'd say no way, bro. Look, some of you guys say yes. That could be wild. I certainly wouldn't be mad about it. You know what I mean? I'd be like, change that up. You know what I mean? Just bring Christian Bale into your office, slap him up a little bit, and just be like, this is the MCU, bitch. I told Edgar Wright to fuck off. You think I won't tell you too, Christian Bale? That's how Feige talks, like, behind closed doors, by the way. Don't print that. Pretty Nikki with a $5 holler says, heard a theory that Gore may have killed the missing gods in Moon Knight and could show up at the end of the show. Your thoughts, boss? I've heard this too. I mean, I think that would be crazy. I do think, if you watch the video from yesterday, I actually do think that Gore could be connected to this series of events, and that would be kind of cool. But I don't think that he's going to show up at the end of the show. That would be wild. I mean, technically speaking, they did have Kang just randomly show up at the end of Loki. But that was rumored. Remember? We talked about that a lot. So, no, I haven't heard anything like that. And, I mean, it would be cool. It would be cool. I do think Kang is pretty clearly connected to a lot of that stuff. But who knows? Appreciate the love, by the way. Chris says, hey, Josh, can I get a special birthday celebrating by going to the Red Sox game tonight? Yo, that's great, man. Shut up and take my B-Day money. Oh, man, B-Day money's the best, you know? Like, grandma gives you a little card, open up. It's a wrinkly $5 bill. It looks like it's from the Depression era. She's been holding on to it the whole time. Yeah, man, I love birthday money, bro. It's always good stuff. And I hope you like the Red Sox game, man. Hope you like it. Yeezy for Sheezy. Member for 16 months has loved the vibe of Moon Knight and Oscar Isaac's performance. About a month till Kenobi, homie. Amazing stream last night. Bless up and have a great week. Hey, thanks, man. Glad you liked the stream. And yeah, it's we're about to get in. We are in the heat of it now. You know what I mean? Like, I have a lot of different ideas for specifically Multiverse of Madness videos, and I think the thing that's so cool is what I want to do is because I want to start doing more like lore videos, like breaking down comic book runs and like explaining like where my head is at with some of this stuff. I want to do like kind of more evergreen content, you know? But I decided I want to wait until after Multiverse of Madness because Multiverse of Madness is going to really shake things up. And so I want to wait until after that movie. And then I will be doing more just all kinds of Marvel content. And I think Kenobi, I mean, look, I'm really excited for Kenobi. There's been a ton of leaks, a ton of info's already out there. So it's kind of with Kenobi, it's one of those things where it's like, at this point, like it's kind of getting to that point where it's like, we just need to see it. Like a lot of the speculation is going to be sort of circling the wagons, so to speak. So we kind of just need to see it. But either way, I'm super hyped up. Celebration will have plenty of big announcements. Oh, man, we got a lot of Nerd Vengeance to do. Ross with the member 16-month chat. Oh, hang on. I got a burp. Oh, my God. I'm such a pig. Over a year, Nerd Vengeance. Thanks for all the good nerdy vibes and authenticity, Josh. When you played my song on stream, that made my year. MCU and Star Wars for life. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. I appreciate just what you bring to the Nerd Vengers. We've got a lot of authentic people that are, want to share their opinions, have different opinions. And I think that throughout the course of sort of just being in this community, we've had, maybe little rifts and little disagreements that I think ultimately, if we're reasonable, we're all better for having had. So I appreciate you, Ross. Thank you very much, brother. Hope you're well. Chris says, Werewolf by Night, let's go! Bro, Werewolf by Night is about to be lit. I'm super excited. Rayumbo says, Josh, sending good vibes and happiness your way, man. Also, you still playing Elden Ring? If so, where are you at? I'm at the Fire Giant. I did take a pretty big break. The move was pretty, I'm going to throw a crazy word at you. Tumultuous. Word of the day. Today's show is brought to you by the word tumultuous. Yeah, so the last couple of weeks have been pretty crazy, so I haven't been able to game a lot. But I got on recently for a couple of sessions. I got the Blood Braid Katana. I'm feeling good about that. I need to level up some of my weapons. And I'm at the Fire Giant. So I think I've got like 3-4 major bosses left on the main story. But yeah, I love that game, bro. Can't stop me, Pete. $20 holla, very generous, bro. Thanks, man. Says, great stream last night. Thanks for your in-depth answers to the super chats last night. Now if we can get Theory to stop looking bored during the combos. His one-word answers must make it difficult for you. No, I wouldn't say they make it difficult for me. I mean, look, the truth is this. Here's the thing. Here's the way I look at the show and the way I look at, when I do Nerd Theory, I have way less responsibility than he does. You know what I mean? Like, you got to think about it. We're on his channel, and also he gets distracted by chat. He's looking at chat. He's got a lot of different things on the back end that he is worrying about. And so I think my functionality on the show is to help balance that out, to sort of mask some of those things and to kind of keep it moving. I do think sometimes there's a reluctance from him to engage in certain topics, but sometimes that just comes from him literally having no idea what I just said. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I'll say some shit, and I promise you, and I can just see it in his face, he literally has no idea what I just said. But I mean, like, you decide what would be better for the show. Me to be like, hey, bro, you don't have any idea what I just said, and be like a fucking butthole about it, or keep it moving. You know what I mean? We keep it moving. And I think that show brings a lot of joy, entertainment, and also occasionally insight and perspective to a ton of different fans. So I'm very grateful for that platform. Kevin says, what do you think about the armor in Mando being a Night Sister, or better yet, a Asajj Ventress? I mean, these are all pretty cool ideas. I wouldn't be mad about it. I also think she's kind of fine as her own character. She's kind of solidified herself. You know what I mean? Like, armor is dope, bro. You know what I mean? So I don't think we necessarily need that, but not against it. Victor says, yo, oh, shit. Oh, shit. Victor, where you at, bruh? Says, yo, Josh, thanks for the hookup. My lady and I had a great time last night at the tower. My man. Whew, my man. There's something about Nerd Avengers Tower, you know? Maybe it's the lights. Maybe it's Susan. Maybe it's all the beautiful people always in here doing the Nerd Vengeance. But there is something about it. Michael Phantom says, after rewatching the MCU Disney Plus shows, I think they are a lot better binged like a movie. Also, I think most disappointment comes from leaks not being true. Fair. I think to some degree that is true. I know for me personally, that was an issue with WandaVision, but that wasn't an issue for me in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I just felt like it was a super sloppy, like hastily put together show, right? But I see your point. And also, I haven't binged an MCU show in a long time, but maybe you're right. I have to give it a shot. Josh says, member for 10 months, says, when will they pay off the final episode of Loki? The multiverse is broken and no reference to it this whole past year. Well, if you watch the video and a lot of different theories that are going on right now, I actually think there is stuff being referenced and set up. It's just not super clear yet. Like, perhaps, and we don't know this, but perhaps Steven in Multiverse of Madness will come to realize that something that happened in Spider-Man was actually connected to the multiverse breaking open. Perhaps the Illuminati there is watching the multiverse break open. Like, we don't know, but I mean, I see your point, but I promise you that it's not inconsequential. I mean, it creates the multiverse, essentially. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. But I think it is being paid off. Jamie Bunker says, Josh, do you really feel MCU fans have been eating great since Endgame? No Disney Plus or theatrical film since has had the same feel or level of quality. Yeah, I really do, Jamie. I really do. Now, when So when Black Widow first came out, I was like, this movie's like all right. You know what I mean? When Shang-Chi came out, I was like, yo, this movie's cool, but not great. And then when I saw Eternals, I was like, dude, Eternals is awesome and then becomes not that awesome at all. You know, there's stuff I didn't like or whatever. I have revisited almost all of those films. And in hindsight, and especially compared to what the other studios are doing, hell yeah, dude. Are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? So maybe you don't feel that way, but I would argue if you look out at the Marvel fan base and just kind of try to take a temperature out there, I would say most Marvel fans absolutely feel like they're eating real good and that the quality, maybe it's not to the level of Endgame and Infinity War, but how could it be? How could you go from Infinity War and Endgame and then just expect to just take it off to the moon? You also understand that No Way Home happened in the MCU, right? So even though that's a Sony Marvel production, that's an MCU movie. That happens in the MCU. This movie, Multiverse of Madness, is happening in the MCU. The Thor, so I absolutely feel like Marvel fans are eating really good. And obviously, it's not the same as Endgame and Infinity War. But look around, brother. What has DC done? The Batman was aight. What else have they done? You know what I mean? Look at Star Wars. Even Star Wars, right? Look at the last 2 years of content. It's not even really comparable. You know what I mean? Mr. J. Westman says, yo, been loving the breakdown of everything. Amazing content and community. I got me an interview today for Tesla Technician, and I hope I get it, gang. Yo, that's dope, Mr. J. Westman. I hope you get that, bro. That sounds awesome. And also, thanks for the love. Normies and Nerd says, sorry, but Snyder movies underperformed and brings baggage from previous Warner Brothers owners. I would distance myself in a respectful way if I was Discovery. Yep, I agree. I absolutely agree. Which is tough, man, because I really feel like he was really wronged, and I feel like that Snyder Cut is an incredible movie, and they totally wasted an opportunity to. I just really feel like they squandered that opportunity. But from where we are at now, I agree. I 100% agree. Matthew says, who are your dream and realistic picks for the next Wolverine actor? First of all, I always say this, I'm terrible at casting. If you guys come up with an idea, I can tell you if I think it's good or not. But it's really hard for me. That's just a skill that I lack. My brain don't work that good on that. Decree, the guy from Stranger Things, that's the big bad dude named Vecna. I guess that's a massive spoiler, but it's super obvious. That guy. Yeah, I think he would be a good Wolverine. I actually think Zac Efron could be a good Wolverine. And I also think Daniel Radcliffe, dude, just do it. Diamond Joe just sends a heart. Thank you, bruh. J Mike Gaming with a $10 holla, very generous, says, how would you rate Moon Knight as a production in general, Josh? Obviously, it's not the best MCU project, but how would you rate it as a silver screen project? Also, when did you start blinking, my dog? When did I start blinking? I don't know. I've taken so many blinkers, I can't remember when I started blinking, bro. Real talk. How would I rate Moon Knight as a production overall? I'd rate it pretty high. Which I think is why it's doing pretty well with the normies, but doing a little bit not as well in this space, in the content creation space and in social media space. I think it's actually doing pretty big numbers. It's a good show. It's intriguing as fuck. It's really interesting, and I like the way that all the character development is going on. So I'd rate it pretty high. It's just that it lacks a certain element that I think a lot of people that congregate here within these walls values pretty highly. Does that make sense? MCU Drew with a $5 says, are all these gods we are meeting in Moon Knight about to just get slaughtered 10 minutes into Love and Thunder? I would love it, dude. I'm all about it too. I think, Yeah, I'm hoping that's where we're going with this. I'm hoping that all this God setup in Moon Knight will get paid off by Gore just going through and slaughtering them all and like doing crazy stuff like that. That's what I'm about. Normies the Nerd says can't give the keys to anyone who fumbles Batman v Superman movie and kills Doomsday in his first appearance. Snyder's needs an EP not to be in charge. Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, like one of the things that I will always say is like I love Zack Snyder stuff. But I didn't even love all of the choices he made in his universe and some of the ways he wanted to take the future of that film. I wasn't super down with either. So, yeah. But I would say I would push back a little bit on him fumbling Batman v Superman. I personally feel that's a lot of studio interference there because, again, the director's cut of that movie is so much better than the theatrical one. But they both have the Martha scene. Inked Vader says Armor... Rook cast for sure. Armorer Rook cast for sure. What you talking about, bro? What you talking about? Dev gonna be paid off. I can see Kang break down everything he has done in Phase 4 in Ant-Man 3. Explain the Council of Kangs. Kang. Yeah, 100%, man. I agree. I do think that that's a possibility where basically a lot of the things we're seeing now. So let's think of it this way. Up until Loki, a lot of what happened in the MCU was catered or controlled by He Who Remains. After Loki, if anything, there's probably multiple people messing with the timeline. If there is a singular person that's affecting things a lot, it's now Kang the Conqueror or the Kang from our universe from way into the future that's now coming back. So either way, probably not a good guy, right? So... I think it will all be paid off, but it's going to be paid off in a different and interesting way. And perhaps Loki Season 2 will open that up. Ant-Man 3 will open that up. And I think even Multiverse of Madness and some of that other stuff will as well. And as far as Council of Kangs, I think I will probably dig in and do like a whole video on that. I don't know that that's something they'll actually do in the MCU, though. We'll see. John Krause says, I need to rewatch Loki, but was it Kang's plan for the multiverse to break? And do you think TVA will be in Multiverse of Madness? I can see Loki in Multiverse of Madness if TVA is there. So I don't think Loki or the TVA will show up in the movie. It's not Kang's plan for the multiverse to break, no. He Who Remains had been there sort of rewatching the timeline, just play itself over and over, almost like he's like the one of the maybe like the oldest being, like depends on time's relative, right? But for him, he's been alive forever essentially, right? So no, he didn't necessarily have the plan for the MCU or the multiverse to break open, but I think he found himself. So there's two theories on this. Either he found himself in a position where he did really and truly want to see the unexpected and to see what would happen, or all that's bullshit, and he had a backup plan anyways, which I think is actually more likely, right? He sends Ravina somewhere. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. We'll see. Dalton Wattas says, when you going to suit up for your reviews like Paul Heavy Spoilers did for Batman? Oh, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll do something with Multiverse of Madness, maybe. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, bro. Chris says Zac Efron for Johnny Storm or Jack Russell Werewolf would be my picks. Yeah, dude, he's big these days, though. I believe. Like the last time I saw him on something, he was like big, bruh. You know what I mean? Like he was pretty hefty. So I think he could actually do that Wolverine stuff. Jeff says, member for 17 months, says, been a while since I caught a stream live, but watch most on replay. Thank you, brother. Thanks for everything you do, Josh. Don't forget that Sith Trivia. Oh, Sith Tivia. For tomorrow. Yeah. We'll see about that, won't we? Old Dirty Squirty. Interesting name. Says, sup, Josh? Running late today. You doing a 420 stream? Nah, bro. I mean, technically speaking, we will do a stream. It'll be the X-Men stream at night. And maybe I'll be more toasty than usual. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, man, appreciate the support. Thank you. Green Bear, a.k.a. the Beskar Boner, says, love yesterday's video on the main channel. Yeah, thanks, bro. Gonna read Moon Knight Annual from 2019 and do some Kang banging tonight on my channel, the Beskar Boner. That sounds dope. Yeah, I really enjoyed the video yesterday. And I think a lot of you guys did too. It's doing pretty well. And I feel like I was sort of saying yesterday, I feel like a little bit more rested and more fresh to be able to like do content like that. Like the last couple of weeks were rough, bro. Like it's just really hard to like put that, like frankly it's mental energy really, but like you got to put together an interesting MCU video. Like plainly, like if you build a good video with an intriguing title and thumbnail and it's entertaining to Marvel fans, like the video's going to do well. You know what I mean? So like I'm feeling good about where I'm at in the content game because like it's time to start ramping up, you know, especially after Multiverse of Madness, like leading up and going past it. Holy shit. There's a lot to talk about. So I'm pretty excited to be making that more of that kind of content, and I'm glad you liked it. John said, do you think now each phase will have a big bad instead of one overarching big bad throughout multiple phases? Yes, but also Kang Do. So I think you're going to get a lot of villains, but also Kang Do. Let's not forget, there were multiple villains in the Infinity Saga, all of them in some way, or most of them, tied back to the Infinity Stones and or Thanos. I think you're going to get a similar thing with Kang, or perhaps with Kang and Doctor Doom at the end of this phase. So I think Kang's doing things. Kendall says, I think Kang wanted Sylvie to kill him. Oh, crap. Come on, where you at here? And to open the multiverse and bring his Kang variants back. Whoa, that's interesting. That's crafted Loki to always Loki. Interesting. I like that. I have to talk to you more about that, man. That's interesting. 100%. Are you rolling backwoods on 420? Yo, I'm going to be real with you guys. I don't have flour. I haven't had flour in a while, and I've kind of really cut back. So I know this is like going to be super boring, and some of you guys are like, wah! But bro, like there's a lot going on, and I've cut back a little bit, okay? So everybody get off of my case. Jeez. Sheesh. RG with a $10 holla, very generous man, says, when do you think they're going to start to address what happened at the end of Loki or even the TVA if they don't do it in MM, which seems unlikely now with them introducing the Illuminati? But what if the Illuminati are aware of the TVA or aware of Kang? So here's, you know what the truth is? Here's the true answer. The real true answer. Things are still in a little bit of flux over there. I promise you they have how it's all going to tie together worked out to some degree, but there's also a lot of shuffling that they're doing. And if anything, a show like Moon Knight probably shows us that with things being a little uncertain and a lot of things being in flux, it might be better to make vague references to where this canonically takes place while dropping in info that impacts like the past. Like if you think about Moon Knight, the God stuff, Khonshu stuff, all these different things, it connects to a lot of different things that could be going on and things that we've seen before. But it's not like we see the Avengers being like, dude, this Mark Spector dude seems wild, you know? Because they don't want to commit to where that's at in the timeline because everything's in flux. So I personally think we will get to a place, maybe next year, maybe the year afterwards, where everything is streamlined better and we have an end point in mind, you know, mainly like Secret Wars or the Multiversal War. So I think for now, we're not going to have that same level of straight through line connective tissue that we had in the Infinity Saga because of production changes to the industry, all sorts of stuff that's going on. That's just my opinion, but I promise you will get that explained. MCU Drew says, do you see there being another Feige in either DC or Marvel? Being that great at the business side and loving the material already seems to be a rarity. Yes, I do. And it could actually come from some of the people that are within his regime. Like a lot of the producers around him are understanding that formula, if you want to call it a formula, really learning from him. And I think that a lot of people that work around him will be able to go on and do great things. You know what I mean? So, yes. And then will we see another Feige? Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's probably another Feige. Hey, you never know. Maybe there's another Feige watching this stream right now, maybe there's somebody that's about to enter the film industry or go produce or go out to LA or something. And then they produce and they acclimate the things they loved about what Feige did. Because really, you know, Feige says, and he talked about this before, that he would go watch movies and then go home and just analyze the bejesus out of them and be like, okay, what works, what doesn't work, what would I have done, what would have made it better, and all that sort of stuff. And when you were that obsessive about comic books and comic book movies and stuff like that, like that's how you get to that place, right? And as far as him understanding the business side, I really and truly think he's sort of product first, which is there's no real fucking genius there. Like a lot of great business people just have a simple business philosophy. It's not that deep. Just make an incredible product. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think we'll get more. Quentin Lee says, I think they've mucked up Thanos and his family with Eternals. It's possible. Curious to see how they balance the different multiverse time travel stuff. Yeah, I think there's a lot to that, man. I think there's a lot to that. We'll have to wait and see, of course. But, I think Thanos and also his brother and perhaps even his father will be explored in further maybe Eternals content, maybe just cosmic content in general. But I do think there's a plan there. I don't necessarily think it's all screwed up. So, okay, let's hang out in the chat. I'm going to hang for like 10 minutes and I'm getting out of here. What's on your mind? What's going on? What's everybody talking about? What are you guys talking about? Full spectrum and Delta 8 is the new wave for people that want mids. Oh, okay, interesting. Had a meeting, having to start the stream over. Work getting in the way of my nerd time. Oh, no. I want some barbecue. Yeah, that sounds great, dude. I'm actually pretty hungry myself. If you guys are going to celebrate tomorrow, what are you doing? What do you got planned? What's your go-to? Do you put on like a stoner movie or something? Like, what's your favorite thing or whatever? People have to be more patient with the process. The Infinity Saga took a 10 years. It did take a 10 years. I like that. Yo, on my 15-minute break. What's up, Fernie? Why are your eyes red? What are you talking about? Because I'm blinked out of my mind, bro. The less news there is, the more blinkers I take before the show. I'm like, oh, okay, so there's really not that much news, and I'm like, it's like, oh shit. I'm like, and then I like try to find something to talk about. I'm like, damn, there really ain't no news. And then I start to like panic a little bit. I'm like, what the fuck am I even gonna put on the thumbnail, bro? You know. Elisa and the baby are good. We feel like everything's Gucci. Feel like we're in a good spat. Having a tea party with my grandma tomorrow. She has the medical grade stuff. That's awesome. That's hilarious. Moon Knight spec? What do you mean, like speculation? So I dare not do too much of that just because I know what's going to happen in this episode. So I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I mean, we've talked about it. We talked around it a little bit, you know. I think a lot of us know what's going to happen. I just want to see how it happens, right? I guess I'm just going to have to start. I'm just getting in. Going to have to start the stream over. Oh, no. Oh, no. What's my dream cameo for Multiverse of Madness? Okay, so my dream is this. Here's my dream. Tom Cruise Iron Man. And he's not a throwaway character. He doesn't die. And he's set up as a villain in the multiverse moving forward. That's what I want. John, hey, John, appreciate you, bro. $10 holla, very generous. Says, yo, I'm hyped for Invincible Season 2. Steven Yen is back in the recording studio. Thanks for the love, brother. Yeah, I saw that. I'm super excited. I loved Invincible Season 1. I think Invincible Season 1 might be the best. It might be the best superhero television show ever. And that's including live action. Like, I think it was amazing, bro. Like, amazing. I want to do a rewatch of it before Season 2. When's Season 2 supposed to come out? Do they have a date or anything? I don't even know if they have a date. But, bro, I love Invincible. Invincible was so good, it made me want to get back to writing comics, man. You know? So, I'm pretty excited as well. I'm pretty excited. Do we have a date or a time period? Oh, yeah? Kendall, that's cool. That's cool. I haven't really revisited it recently. I mean, dude, yeah, like, Invincible Season 2 is going to be fire. I might actually make videos and do streams about Invincible Season 2. You know what I mean? Because, like, while Invincible 1, like, everybody, when it was coming out, was, like, blown away, and everybody's, like, talking all this shit. It wasn't, like, popping like that. Season 2 might pop. Season 2 might pop. And also, too, and I know some of you guys are going to cringe when I say this, but I rewatched The Boys Season 2. I was a little too hard on it. You know, I've never done this before. I've never sort of gone back on something I said, and you know, I very rarely like make mistakes, and you know, I'm pretty much flawless with my takes and leaks and everything. You know, not to toot my own horn, but like I'm the best. And you know, rare instance of me being wrong, and kind of getting one wrong. You know, Boys Season 2 was pretty good. Boys Season 2 was good. Kendall, you still don't think it was that great? I liked it. Yeah, I had fun revisiting 100%. I could do without the biatch girlfriend in Invincible. You're not going to like where it goes then. Josh never makes mistakes because he went to film school. Remember, it's all about pacing. 100%. The Batman, hello. What about the Batman? Talking about Midman. Talking about hockey pad wearing, sparkly vampire face, one note emo the whole time Batman. Oh, don't get me started. Do not lie. This movie was mid. Yep. I rewatched all the Transformers movies. The last night was trash. Welcome to my TED Talk. Oh, heard that, Fernie. Heard that. I've never even seen that one. Bro, you guys want to know a funny story about that movie? Oh, shit. This shit was so funny. I don't even know if it'll be that funny to you guys, but it just reminds me of some of my best homies from Philly. Man, we had this big, like, discussion about the Transformers movies because like we had a crew of people that we'd go see movies together, right? Like we would love going to see the movies, right? So it's a pretty big crew, and at one point I remember like everybody in the crew was talking about the new Transformers movie, okay, all of them, and they were like, dude, new Transformers and stuff, and I'm like, nope, Transformers sucks, bros, you know? And they were like, what? Like, bro, come on, we're going to see the Transformers and all that shit, right? And I was like, dude, nah, dude, fuck all that. Like, Transformers, like, let's spin the camera around to the point that you don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, Michael Bay at his worst, like, give it a rest, you know? Just totally shit-talking him, okay? And then, randomly, I got invited to see the first like 15 or 20 minutes of that Transformers movie in the theaters, like a special preview, you know? And I went, and I didn't tell my friends, like that same group, until after it, right? And so then like I had all these pictures, I had like this special poster and all this stuff, and I like came over, right? And I was literally just like, oh, yeah, guys, I went to this thing with it. And they flipped out, bro. They were, like, straight mad, like, grown-ass men. Like, I can't believe it. You talked all that shit about Transformers, and then you go to see it in the preview thing. You didn't invite any of us and all that shit. Like, bruh. You know, like, just literally freaking out. It was amazing. Oh, really? The high school girl? Maybe I'm not understanding who you're talking about, bruh. It was amazing. And real talk, I only did it so that I could throw it in their face. Like, I was like, yo, this shit sucks. And then I actually still didn't go see the full movie. Did you get jumped that day? It was close. It was close. What is Theory going to do when he inevitably gets angry with Kenobi? Well, I think you answered your own question. He's going to get angry. Can you just admit that they going to F it up, dude? Wait, F what up? What you talking about? The Bumblebee film was dope. Yeah, I never finished it. I watched some of it on an airplane. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know, Gunner. I don't know. I still haven't seen Morbius. Me neither, bruh. Marvel and Star Wars. Oh, bro, no, I can admit it. Yeah, they're going to fuck it all up. It's all over. It's all over, man. Stick a fork in it. It's done. It's over. Yo, Briez, you know what you're like? You're like one of those people that does nothing but complain about their job, but real talk, if you didn't have that job, you wouldn't have shit to talk about. You wouldn't even know what to say. So, you know, I feel you, dog, and, like, it's all good, but, come on, bro. Come on, bro. I can't believe my boss did this, that, second, and the third, blah, 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 blah. Damn, Josh. Well, look, that is who he is. That's who he is. Marvel promoting 2 movies and has a show coming out, and Star Wars still sleeping, but hopefully announcement soon. Yeah, true, fair. True. True. What would you go talk about? What would you go troll about? What would you tweet about if you didn't have these properties to talk about? You're right, man. I guess I'll just walk away and don't complain, man. I'm not trying to be negative. It is whatever. It's too late. You have crossed me, and now I will destroy you. But go in peace. Taylor Swift for Sue Storm? I'm down. You crossed the line. Yo, real talk, though, that's probably like the realest shit that motherfucker ever heard in his life. He doesn't know what to do. You were the chosen one. You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them. Josh, Disney could serve you a poop of plate, and you would say, nice plate. Well, I mean, you didn't even say, like, is it a nice plate? Is it like a really, really nice plate that just happens to have a big shit on it? I mean, you know, there's like a leading the witness thing kind of going on here. I might just say nice plate. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. Oh, man. Who do I think is the best for Doom, bro? I don't know. I just told you. I can't do the fan casting, man. I can't. I don't have that skill. I don't have that skill. Oh, man. If it's Disney, of course the plate is nice and has shit on it. That's the whole brand. Yeah. Then I'd probably say nice plate. So you think they are shifting focus to shows to be all female leads? Echo, She-Hulk, Riri, Armor Wars, and Miss Marvel. Yeah, it seems like they definitely have some female leads coming. 100%. Definitely got a few coming. 100%. Nicolas Cage as Doctor Doom. You know what I was thinking about? This is kind of a really weird idea. I wonder how you guys would feel about this. When I was searching for pictures of Liam Neeson earlier, I actually was like, yo, could that work? Could Liam Neeson work as Victor Von Doom? What do you guys think? What do you think? I think you could do it. Scarier Doom? Yeah, that's fair. But I actually think that Liam Neeson can be scary. I just don't know that he's ever been asked to be really scary. Do you know what I mean? Gus from Breaking Bad? Yeah. Giancarlo Esposito as Doom? Maybe. I mean, he's definitely menacing. Maybe. He could work. Dude, Gerard Butler? That could be fun, too. Oof, I like that. Andrew Lincoln is supposedly in talks with the Marvel if he could be Doom. So it's possible. That actually comes from a pretty unreliable source, though. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's totally wrong. But yeah. Darkman wasn't menacing. I've actually never seen it. So Oliver Cohen for Doom. I've looked that up. I'm not even sure who that is. Oliver Cohen? What's he in? So he did a ton of like horror movies kind of stuff, huh? I've not seen him act in anything, I don't think. He looks like he could be a good Victor. I don't know. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, maybe. Yo, Joaquin Phoenix would be a great Doom. See, the problem, though, like, Doom has to be, like... Doom, I think... This is what I think. Doom has to be, like, fiercely intelligent. He has to command a lot of charisma, because, like, he's a literal dictator that a lot of his people actually really like him, and he can make crazy, impassioned speeches. So he has to be, like, a really charismatic person. I think he also has to be able to be pretty crazy and, like, I don't want to say fragile, but, like, Doom has clearly his ego is so big that, like, hubris is, like, one of his number one problems, right? And so you got to be able to, like, have that happen as well. So, I don't know. Doom's a really interesting cat. And also, too, like, there could be a lot of, like, if the mask is on a lot, right? Like, you think about Pedro Pascal and a lot of the people that bring together that Mando performance. I mean, some of those guys are just, frankly, incredible at acting without their face or their... It's all, like, in the body motions and, like, the nodding of this, that, second, and the third. So you would need someone to really help bring that together and bring a performance out of Doom like that, too. So it'd be pretty interesting. I don't know. Josh Brolin? I like Brolin. Dude, low-key, I actually want Brolin as Batman. Josh Brolin as an old Batman. I think it would be sick. Yeah, he is kind of emo, too, Moss. Like, I agree. But, like, you have to have that sort of, like, reserved... It's almost like you got to see what's behind the dam. Like, you got to see all the water behind the dam, but also see that it's really controlled. Oh, Brolin's only 5'11"? Fuck it. Make it work. Ooh, Ben Stiller. Dude, Werner Herzog as Doom. I mean, that's kind of dope, but also, like, I don't know. He's a little old, huh? A little old, right? Alec Baldwin? Oh, God. Adam Driver is an interesting choice. Adam Driver's a hell of an actor, dude. That's interesting. I would have checked out your fat face stream. Hey, thanks, Trevor. Appreciate you, man. All right, guys, I must get out of here. There's going to be a Cameo Multiverse of Madness update video today, just talking about all the recent updates to all of the big cameos. Make sure you check that video out. I don't know if I'll do the Andor video. I might wait for the Bespin Bulletin thing and do that later. Moon Knight Watch Party tonight. It's going to be lit. We're going to give away some of those T-shirts. That's going to be super fun. Tonight's episode is going to be pretty wild, 100%. So make sure you come on by for that. We're just weeks away from Multiverse of Madness, from Celebration, from Kenobi, from all sorts of crazy things. There's plenty of Nerd Vengeance to be doing in these streets and in Nerd Vengeance Tower. Much love to you all. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? I will tell you a secret. I'm terrified. Absolutely shaken to my core. I'm scared of watching The Batman on HBO Max. Because I think I might like it. I think I might be like, oh, this is pretty lit. I know. People talk about their challenges in life. People talk about struggle. They have no idea. They don't understand what it's like. Don't worry, though. Because as crazy as it is, I can handle it. I will go through this gauntlet of pop culture for you, the people. Much love. I'll see you guys soon. Ta-ta.